enjoying it. Okay, let us see who's been joining. Got Intere who just joined, Joanna. Okay, we have some people that are joining in now. Let's give it another couple of minutes. Welcome everyone. We'll give it another couple of minutes, a minute or so until more people are joining. Okay, I see some familiar names. I'll say hi to everyone though. So let's get started. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on this beautiful and very, very hot summer day here in Cyprus. I don't know how are things in London, Carolina. Is it as hot?
Good afternoon. It's warm and it's not raining yet, so I think that we're in luck today. But obviously, if I could be giving this presentation in person in Cyprus, I would. I'm
sure you will enjoy that much better. Of
Absolutely.
course, it will be very hot because it is a very hot day today.
No, I could take it.
And of course, Petros, thanks for joining us from the beautiful seaside area of Larnaca in Cyprus. Mainly, more precisely, Aradipu.
Yeah, and I can confirm it's warm in Aradipu and Larnaca.
Okay, excellent. Okay, okay, we get started then. I think most of the people are in the room. Maybe some more will join, but we'll get started now. Let me welcome everyone to today's CSI Information Day. Let me thank, and I'll say a couple of things about both Carolina and Petros now, right from the start, if you guys don't mind, so people know who you are. And then once your time comes, you can go on your presentations as well. I will keep this casual, of course, because we're kind of casual people today. I think it's a good day to be casual. So if you have any questions at any time during this information day, just pop them in the Q&A or in the chat, raise your hands. I'll try to keep up with everyone and make sure we get your questions answered on time. Today we're having, as I said, Carolina Pajor. She's basically business development manager for CSI. She's been there for a few years now. She used to do UK markets. Now she's doing global markets. So she has joined our team of global partners, and we had a great partnership and collaboration with Carolina so far. And thank you for your support, Carolina. And then we have Petros Floridis. I'm sure some people have already met Petros during some of the presentations of CSI in Cyprus or some of the EIMF events. Petros has been with the National Council, the NAC committee, the committee for the last 10, 12, 15 years now, Petros. I think we're getting older and years go by fast.
From the beginning, I co-founded it with Charles.
Yes, yes, one of the co-founders with Charles Rambus, to be exact, yes. And he's currently serving the committee, but he's also on the board of CSI as well. A couple of things from me and why we're hosting this event and about EIMF. I'm Marios. I'm the CEO of the European Institute of Management and Finance. The EIMF has been a training partner of CSI since day one, since we started in 2015. We have personally, I have, let's say, been on board and supported CSI since my previous job. So that's pretty much when I met Petros, when he founded with Charles the CSI NAC. And why so many years and so much support? Because we believe in the CSI. Personally, the EIMF, the team here also believes in the CSI. We believe in the products. We believe that CSI has the breadth and width of different topics. We have started in the London Stock Exchange, but expanded later on as a charter body to offer different qualifications. So with CSI, you can choose your route. So if you're a wealth person, investment person, you can choose a route which suits that career, but also at the same time, if you're an operations person, you can do more operations related certificates. If you're working compliance or risk, you can do the same. So it's one of the qualification bodies we find that has an attractive offer for its students, graduates, and members. Also, and I'm not going to say a lot, so Carolina can also do her bit, because I don't want to take on Carolina's job, but I want to express how I feel about these qualifications, and also the offers that CSI does for its members. I mean, it has an excellent backend in terms of supporting and doing events and networking activities, which NAC does as well, and Petros will say a few things about that also. And now, as far as EIMF is concerned, the partnership, we offer several courses every year. We try to support participants. So if any of you, if anyone who's interested to take on any qualification offered by CSI, they should contact us. We can offer support, mentoring, tutoring, courses. We usually offer content for courses which is done in classrooms or live online or self-paced e-learning. Some of the qualifications we offer courses for, and these are coming up as well in the autumn. We will be offering for the International Certificate in Investment and Wealth Management this autumn. We also have the Introduction to Securities and Investment, the Risk in Financial Services, the Global Financial Compliance, and most probably more courses will be added relevant to the CSI qualification. So, and again, if you have any request, and if it's something we cannot offer, we usually team up with other training partners of CSI, mainly from the UK, and we will find a solution that we will make sure you graduate and you choose your path with the CSI. So that's it from me, and I'll be here to, as I said, answer any questions later on as well. Carolina, you want to take over?
Absolutely.
And thank you again.
Thank you so much for such a warm welcome. I'm delighted to be, well, here with you today, inverted commas. I'm happy to be connected virtually. So let me share my screen. The idea is for me to tell you a little bit more about the background of the CISI. Marius has already touched on that. But also I want to show you my CISI platform so that you can get a feel of what we are offering. Because whether you join as a member or an exam taker, you can access CISI member benefits this way. So let me quickly share my screen. Marius, I think you need to give me access to screen sharing.
Let me find you and do that.
No worries, trying to share.
Okay, I made you two co-hosts, so you should be able to share now.
Fantastic. Excellent. I hope you can see my screen.
You can see it.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to go for a full screen, because we can see the slide.
Yes.
Slide thing.
Excellent. So I'm very happy to tell you more about your journey to professionalism with the CISI. To begin with, a few words about the CISI. We evolved from London Stock Exchange. Marius has already mentioned that. So we have been present since 1992. And we are a UK-based organization with our headquarters in London, in the walkie-talkie building that you can see here on this slide. We are a charity with a board of trustees, but even though we are headquartered in London and we evolved from the London Stock Exchange, we are very international. So it is a global offering of global qualifications, and we've got multiple international offices as well. So overall, we've got over 45,000 members globally, and over 40,000 exams are taken each year. So not only in the UK, but obviously there are different international pathways that are relevant for global locations, including Cyprus. So our mission statement, and it's actually a new updated mission statement, is to champion lifelong learning and integrity, raising individual standards of knowledge, skills, and behavior globally to enhance public trust and confidence in financial services. And as you can see, the word integrity is highlighted here because we believe that integrity is at the heart of everything that we do. And in a moment, I've got a very good slide where you can imagine the CISI's activity, where integrity is one of the pillars that is extremely important. So as I've mentioned, I would like you to imagine the CISI's activity as 3 pillars. So the first pillar that you can see here is knowledge. What we mean by knowledge is CISI qualifications. So in a nutshell, you can take CISI exams and we help you be licensed. We help you to do your job, to put it really simply. So you can gain the essential knowledge that is needed to perform your everyday duties. But apart from that, and I think that all of our practitioners will agree, and this is also so important for EIMF, the initial knowledge, the qualifications are just the entry ticket to the party, because skills, which is the second pillar of our activity, is equally important. So what we mean by skills is CPD, so continuing your professional development. So once you gain that knowledge that is essential, the initial knowledge that helps you to perform your duties, you are constantly learning. We all know that it doesn't stop at the exam. It is a continuous process where we are gaining new skills, and the CISI can help you stay up to date with what is happening in the financial services industry. But I also mentioned the third pillar, which here we call behavior. And going back to our mission statement, integrity is at the heart of everything that we do. So when you become a CISI member, an exam taker, we help you with the knowledge, we help you with the second pillar, with the skills, but we also talk about integrity and ethics. So each exam, each syllabus will cover integrity and ethics and regulation. But also we hold workshops and we take part in a bigger debate about integrity and ethics. And we try to build with our members globally, the culture of trust, the culture of ethical behavior. So behavior here, knowing the right thing to do, even when no one is watching, is the third pillar. And as you can see, you can talk about professionalism only when all these pillars are present. So you need to have the knowledge, but you also need to stay up to date, but also it's essential to know what the right thing to do is. I mentioned international representations. See that we've got the head office in London. So I have the pleasure of looking after our initiatives in Europe whilst being based in London. In the past, I used to travel to different locations. So I'm very hopeful that it will be possible for me to come to Cyprus and finally meet everyone in person. But we are also present in Scotland, Ireland, but we've got our office in Spain, the UAE, in Africa, Nigeria, and in Nairobi, as well as India, China, the Philippines, Sri Lanka. So as I've mentioned, we have that CPD offering, as well as qualifications and different pathways that are relevant for various global markets. We collaborate with the regulators. That is probably the first step that we take when we are looking to cater for the needs of a certain market, of a certain jurisdiction. And Cyprus is one of those 73 different regulatory connections that we have. We provide CPD as well as exams that are relevant for those markets. So if you're based in Cyprus, you can complete your CPD, you can complete different e-learning modules that will be accepted by CISEC that meet the requirements of your local regulator. And just a slide that shows you different brands, some household names, so different firms that are our members, corporate supporters, and their staff take our exams. So as you can see, the majority of global investment banks, leading smaller firms, boutique investment houses, corporate finance houses, outsourcing operations, as well as financial planning firms. Quite a busy slide, but I wanted to show you the very broad spectrum of qualifications. Marius mentioned that there are different pathways and there's this very broad offering. And certain exams, like let's say risk and financial services or the wealth and retail pathway, there are exams that are, the training for those qualifications is offered by EIMF. There's more. I know that there's some flexibility and EIMF are there to cater for your needs. But just to explain in a very simple way, if you look on the left-hand side, we've got the different areas that the CISI specialize in and where, depending on the pathway that you want to choose, you can learn more about wealth, financial planning, compliance and risk, operations, capital markets and corporate finance, as well as Islamic finance. So those are the suggested pathways. So if you look at the horizontal lines, those are our suggestions. If you want to specialize in wealth, these are the different levels, the qualifications that you can take, and you can work towards the Chartered Wealth Manager qualification, the level 7 qualification in this case. But there are other suggested pathways where you've got compliance and risk and operations, for example, where there is a certain level of flexibility and you can take different routes. You can develop your pathways qualifications or adjust them depending on where your career takes you. So as you can see, here you have some examples of the programs, certification programs that you can complete. But if you look at the foundation level, there's the International Introduction to Securities and Investment, which is an exam that opens the door to all of these different pathways. So that's the recommended first step. And I'll be happy to show you a little bit more when I log in, and I'll show you where you can find different information within the CISI platform. So just one more piece of information, the level 2, 3, and 4 exams can be taken at any time. They're computer-based exams. They can be taken at an exam test center, as well as through remote invigilation. So you can take that exam from home, which is really convenient, and especially at the moment with the global situation, it is a very safe way to continue your professional development with the CISI and EIMF. Higher level exams, the postgraduate professional level, those exams are narrative exams, so they are they're exams where they're not multiple choice. You have to answer open-ended questions, so then again it varies on the pathway. But in a nutshell, there's a broad spectrum of qualifications that you can choose from. And also, if your pathway, if your career changes, the CISI is there, offers you that flexibility, and you can choose different training options. It's important to mention that the CISI qualifications are ESMA and MiFID II compliant. So I mentioned International Introduction to Securities and Investment for information providers in the UK and obviously in Europe under the MiFID II regulation. You need to comply with the ESMA guidelines, and this particular introductory qualification that is a fantastic starting point is compliant with these requirements. So I mentioned this introductory qualification. So just to give you an idea, in case it is the very start of your career where you have some knowledge or you're new to the financial services industry, the international introduction, and I'm advertising it, I actually have taken and passed the exam. So I can tell you that even if you have been working in the financial services for a while, hopefully there is something new that you can find out about. It covers introduction to the financial services. It talks about the economic environment, financial assets and markets, but equities, bonds, derivatives, investment funds in more detail. So it's going back to the drawing board, understanding the very, well, the basics of different financial instruments. As I mentioned before, just like any qualification, it covers regulation and ethics. So we talk about ethics, integrity, and regulation, and it covers other financial products as well. So what is really good about this qualification? I personally feel that it's just quite easy from a learner's perspective, where with additional training from EIMF, you will be given access to different study support options. So we're looking at showing the most of all of the content that is available. And my CISI platform, which I will show you in a moment, is your one-stop shop for all things CISI. You will get for each of the programs, you'll get a CISI workbook in ebook format and a printable PDF. We are very much green, so hard copies are not shipped internationally. Most of the candidates are encouraged to use the electronic version, and ebooks are absolutely fantastic. You've got additional e-learning that is built in there. So you can obviously take part in EIMF classes for training face-to-face, online. There are different modes of delivery. But that's the additional support that you get access to. There's also the e-learning platform. So apart from the workbook that in ebook format, it has some additional interactive activities. You can access the Revision Express part of the MyCISI platform, where there's valuable information such as sample exam questions, practice questions, mock tests. So definitely worth looking at the platform too. And additionally, when you sign up for an exam, you get access to CISI member benefits for a period of 12 months. And there are professional refreshers. What we mean by professional refreshers, they're e-learning modules. So if you need some extra information about, let's say, bonds or investment funds, you can find a relevant e-learning module just on that subject, just for extra support. But I mentioned EIMF classes, training, face-to-face or online. That is obviously the massive value that is added there by EIMF, who is our accredited training partner. So I mentioned CISI member benefits. You want to stay sharp, and we can go back to one of the pillars of CISI's activity, CPD, continuing professional development. Through my CISI portal, you get access to lots and lots of different content. So if, depending on your learning style, if you would rather read, you can read. If you would rather watch some videos, there are some videos. You can listen to different things as well. So hopefully you can find something that will work for you, or you can just juggle different types of content to the studying process quicker. So in a moment, I'm going to log into the CISI platform, but just to give you an overview, there are, oh, I'm sorry, back to the previous slide. There are different types of content that you can access. So there's a member magazine, the review, professional refreshers. So I already mentioned the e-learning that is available. Integrity matters. So there is a test on integrity. And there are other products that help you develop more awareness and talk about integrity and ethics. And as you can see, there are lots of different modules to choose from. So I'm going to stop sharing the presentation in a moment, just to let you know in terms of joining as a member rather than an exam taker. But either way, you are joining a massive community which is global. And I think that it's an interesting way to position it, especially at the moment where traveling is quite limited. It really feels like without traveling, you get to be part of that global community. You get to be part of that global discussion. And what is quite unique. We have, apart from the content that we give you access to online, you can join various professional forums, interest groups. So again, if you look at the different pathways, but also different topics, you can join a group that focuses on bonds, on compliance, on corporate finance, financial planning, fintech, international regulations. So a very, global chapter that can help with that, but operations, risk, also training, competence and culture. So there are lots of online events that touch on those topics. There's a young professionals network as well. So if you are a young professional, you can join our webcast that talk about different career building topics, as well as technical topics. So let me quickly stop sharing this screen and.
Okay, Carolina will try and log in to her to the CSI membership part of the page now, so you can also see what you get there. I'm kind of trying to allow her the space to do that. Once Carolina is done, we will have Petros also say a few things as well. So Carolina, there we are, we're in.
Fantastic. So just to show you, I showed you the real deal. I wanted to show you the website first. When you go to the website, I mean, there's lots of different information, and I appreciate that if you're new to the CISI, it can be a little bit daunting where to look, what to take a look at. I think that in terms of CISI qualifications, if you're not sure or you're interested in different topics, there's the study with us section. And if you look at the getting started section, there's the qualifications navigator. So I highly recommend, if you want to play with it and just run and look at the list of qualifications and the syllabi, it can be quite detailed. You can take this short test helping you decide which qualification is right for you. So you can see that there are different options, so you can look at different levels of experience and so on and so forth. So just click through it and you can find out more. But also, if you would like to see the whole list, you've got view all qualifications section, as well as different pathways. So you can have a look here. If you have any questions, obviously you can get in touch with EIMF or with the CISI. We will be happy to advise further. In terms of membership, there's the Join Us section, so you can learn more about why become a member, what the benefits are. Petros will tell you more about the member benefits in Cyprus and obviously the National Advisory Council and how active the NAC is in Cyprus. That is absolutely fantastic because you can join that professional network locally that is active and caters for different needs. So that's really unique in Cyprus. But if you would like to join, apart from a local discussion, if you'd like to join different events, we've got our virtual events. So as you can imagine, we cannot really run face-to-face events. It's starting very slowly, but all of our events are currently virtual. So even if you're not a member and exam taker yet, you can join us. It's open to non-members. You just have to create an account and you can join one of our virtual events on lots of different topics. We cover various topics, so not only the technical ones, so let's say international regulation, you can also learn about career planning or even mindfulness. So lots and lots of different topics. I think that everyone can find something. I've mentioned integrity and ethics. There's a section about different schools, colleges, universities. We collaborate with different partners, but what we are interested in is the My CISI section. So on the right-hand side, that's the tab. And I'll quickly jump to my portal, so you can see what you get access to. So on the left-hand side, you can see different tabs. So there's the My Account section. So that's all of your information because it's linked to your exams, to your certificates. So you need to make sure that your information is kept up to date. So apart from the basics, name, surname, also your communication preferences. So you can do all of that, make sure that you provide us with the right information under My Account. Once you sign up for an exam, it's the My Study section that you are interested in. And just to show you, you get access to Revision Express. So apart from the training with EIMF, here is where you can find this additional information. So the e-learning chapter summaries, I'll show you a bit more in a moment. But also, depending on what type of exam it is. So if you want to take an exam at a test center, you'll find all the information here, or if it's a remotely invigilated exam that you're taking from home or your location of choice, you will find all of this information with the guidelines here. So before your exam on the day, but also after your exam, this is where you can see your results, where you can download your certificate. So this is the place where you need to go to if you are an exam taker. So just to quickly show you, you sign up for an exam with the CISI. I gave you the example of the first introductory exam, so the International Introduction to Securities and Investment. So let's have a look. I'm going to click on Revision Express. As a staff member, I've got access to all the programs, but once you sign up for an exam, you will have access to just one program. So let me quickly get to the International Introduction. So you'll see a tile that will have the correct exam name there. And what is quite easy from the learner's perspective is that whichever exam you take, it is designed in a really similar way. So once you pass one exam, you're actually ready. Intuitively, you'll be able to follow each program because you'll be able to find your Revision Express, which will be designed in a similar way. You'll have some exam questions, practice questions there too. So just to show you, each chapter in the book is represented here. So you can learn more about each chapter. So let's take bonds. You'll see that apart from the workbook and the additional information that you find there, if you connect using an ebook, you will see some chapter summaries. You will see some videos, animations, which is pretty good. Rather than just reading, you can listen. So it should help you remember different information more quickly, memorize. And when we scroll down, so as you can see there's the glossary, there's lots of different information, including a video, practice question, case study question, and an explanation. And then you will see that there's a chapter test. So each chapter will provide you with some practice questions. So apart from the questions and the practice that you get through EIMF, you can obviously find some additional content here. So this is Revision Express. And if we go back to the list of all of the chapters, something extremely useful is the module test and the exam standard test. So the module test will be the test checking your understanding of all of the information that you can find within the e-learning, and the exam standard test is like your actual exam. So it really helped me when I was practicing for my real exam. You can see you've got, for the International Introduction to Securities and Investment, we've got 50 questions here, and you can practice and you can time your exam preparation as well. Okay, so this the Revision Express section, and let's go back to the MyCISI platform. Now moving on to the member benefits. When you become a member or as an exam taker, you get access to member benefits too. So you become a student member for 12 months. So My CPD section is your CPD in one place. However you interact with the platform captures your CPD activities. So I will show you a magazine, I'll show you some videos within CISI TV, as well as e-learning modules. Whatever you do, whatever you complete, whatever you read, you listen to, it is captured, and you can have a look at your CPD log. It's extremely useful, not only within one CPD year, where you can obviously report on your CPD activities to your compliance manager, but you can just see what you have been doing, whether it's structured, unstructured, whether it's ethics. So I can share here what I have been doing. As you can see, I watched some CISI TV, but there are also other ways of completing your CPD. And all of it is here. You can download the spreadsheet. And also, if you stay with the CISI for years, you can actually trace back all of the CPD activities that you have completed. So a very useful log, and also useful for your employer because they can access the administrative portal that can actually check different activities. If you book an event, whether it's virtual or face-to-face, you'll be able to see your event here under My Events. So if you participate in a CPD event, absolutely you can network, you can meet other professionals from your area, which is so valuable. And I think that we all miss it at the moment. But each CPD event is obviously there to present a discussion. It's an opportunity for our members to learn, develop their new skills. So let's say it's something to do with fintech or to do with project management, and that activity is captured within your CPD log. So that completes your let's say 1 hour of CPD. So your events can be found here. I mentioned CISI TV earlier. So all of the virtual events, you can join a live webcast like this one we are running right now, but we're recording it. So exactly the same, our live webcasts with some of the most prominent speakers from all over the world. So this is the way you can access that global community without actually traveling. During the webcast, you can ask questions as well. If you cannot join the live webcast, we record the videos and they are available within CISI TV. So I'll quickly show you the platform. And again, you can see the latest ones, but also let's say you are studying for your international introduction exam and you want to learn more about bonds, you can look up bonds and you can find all of the videos that talk about it. So you can find a relevant video of interest. Once you watch it, it is captured within your CISI portal. So CISI TV, videos on demand, lots and lots of different topics, but if it's not for exam preparation purposes, you can just watch something for fun. I mentioned professional refreshers and members only magazine. So let's have a look at the member online magazine. It's called The Review. So lots of different articles, fantastic content, again, delivered by our global experts. We have had some experts from CISEC who contributed and who are members, so you can find that content there too. Regularly updated. ESG is a very big topic for us at the moment, so I recommend having a look and just reading for pleasure. Lots and lots of valuable information there. And I saved the best for last. It was almost ready to give you the floor. I just wanted to touch on professional refreshers. So apart from, sorry, just let me scroll down. Apart from the Revision Express part of the portal, which is dedicated specifically to your exam and exam preparation, that enhances the training that you receive from EIMF, we've got professional refreshers. So over 200 modules that talk about different topics. So it's opening slowly. So again, if you're studying and you want to find out more about, let's say, bonds, or you want to find out more about investment funds, you can look up that topic. Sorry, it's a little bit slow, but I think we are making
your connection, Carolina. You break into your connection sometimes. But that's okay. Ah, there you go. It's up now.
So you can see we've got different modules, so you can see what I have been doing. So there's integrity and ethics, or GDPR, for instance. We have to take that module every year. So you can choose from, as I've mentioned, over 200 different modules, and you can search modules too. So let's say we want to learn more about shares. And here we are. There's a 30-minute long module on shares essentials, designed in a very similar way to Revision Express. So as I've mentioned, once you get the feel, the look and feel, and you understand how that part of the e-learning works, it will be quite similar here. Those e-learning modules, so professional refreshers, last between 30 minutes. Some, I think the longest one is 2 hours. So you can choose different topics, you can complete different CPD requirements, and they require they require between 30 and 120 minutes to complete. So these are professional refreshers. And going back to the, let me go back to the dashboard. So My CISI is that portal, the one-stop shop for all things CISI. So you can do lots of different things here, complete your CPD, study for your exam, find additional content that can help you with your exam and prepare you even better. And it's definitely worth checking out the member benefits, even if you're just taking an exam and you are not committing to full membership. Hopefully it will encourage you to complete your exam and then continue your journey with us as a member. So let me stop sharing.
Thank you, Carolina. Great stuff.
Thank you so much. We'll have time for questions later. So now over to you, Petros.
Yes.
Thank you, Carolina. Thank you. Mario, could you just allow me to share screen?
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course, Petros. Just give me 1 second. And he make a co-host. Yes, you can do that now. Thank you, Petros.
Okay. Just come through. Can you see what I can see?
Yep, full screen. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, Carolina, thank you for the excellent presentation. Very comprehensive. And one of the emphases that Carolina did make is that the CISI is truly, genuinely an international institute. And I think the fact that I serve on the board of the CISI is testimony to that. It does take its international membership seriously, its international profile. And I am on the board as well as one other international member from India. So the international membership of the CISI is very important to the Institute, and therefore everyone that joins in Cyprus is hugely valued, just as much as any other member anywhere else in the world. So we do have here a National Advisory Council. Like I said, I was co-founder with Charles Cararambos, who's the current president. I am ex-president. And he and I established the National Advisory Council perhaps 12 years ago now. And again, testimony to how responsive the CISI is to the demands of the industry and potential members, because when there was a gap in Cyprus, when there was not exams for people to qualify in order to join the industry and get registered with the CISI, CISIC, we approached the CISI to come and support the development of the CISIC exams, which they did readily, very quickly. So we, CISI, used to actually produce the exams for CISIC. We don't have a tender right now, but we did actually step into that gap and provide exams for qualification to become registered with CISIC. So here you see the current National Advisory Council members, and each of them are engaged also in a committee or two. And let me quickly list the committees that support the work of the National Advisory Council. So we have a Marketing and Education Committee chaired by Mariella Stavridis. We have a Governance, Risk, Ethics Committee chaired by Gaderina Antoniou. We have a FinTech Committee chaired by Christos Vassiliou, a Social Committee that's also chaired by Charles Cararambos, a CPD Committee chaired by Yannos Asiodis, and a Wealth Committee chaired by Emilios Danousis. So these are also active committees, and on those committees are other members not on the National Advisory Council. So people can be engaged with the local activities of the CISI through engaging with the committees, either being on the committees if people have the time, because there is an expectation of time and effort, or supporting the committees outside of being a member of the committee. So the National Advisory Committee is very active. We meet 4 times a year at least, and we strategize at that top level. And then the committees of the National Advisory Council, which are the ones that I just mentioned, actually go and do the groundwork and help actually deliver whatever activity we've planned. So again, this is something that I want you to know, that there are lots of people here locally working hard to try and to deliver products and services for the CISI, what it has to offer. Now, we do partner with other organizations on the island. You can see that we are a partner of the Cyprus Investment Funds Association, CIFA. We co-share our training materials and events, and we support each other, and we have cross membership of each other's councils. Our academic partner on the island is University Central Lancashire, or UCLan. That happened recently, I think within the last 6 months or so, Carolina, time flies, but something like that. So they're now partners, and they've integrated some of our exams into their courses. And of course, we have accredited training partners, one of them being the EIMF. And Marios was very generous with his introduction to Carolina and myself, but I want to repay the gratitude for what Marios has done for the CISI since inception. He's been an absolutely huge support, and I would say instrumental to the CISI here in Cyprus being as established and successful as it is. And this is him personally, as Marios Yavaz, but also EIMF has been extremely supportive. And Marios and EIMF go well over and above what's expected of an accredited training provider in doing what they can for the CISI. So on behalf of the CISI, Marios, thank you. Really appreciate everything you do. And Marios is a good friend. We do other things outside of the CISI, and we couldn't have a better partner. So thank you so much for that. So you can see the subjects offered by the EIMF here, and I'll touch on those again. I'll circle back to those. But for now, let me just move on. Now, this seems to be a favorite slide, and it's definitely my favorite slide. And the reason I want to emphasize this is that I think now every academic institution, every professional institute, they all have a place in the market, and we celebrate the diversity and the choice that people like yourselves have in terms of choosing what's best for them. You know, the more choice, the better for the customer, for the consumer. But something that I think the CISI distinguishes itself from all the other professional institutes is the depth and breadth of qualifications on offer. And I want to re-emphasize this. I know that Marios touched on it, Carolina explained it, but I want to double down on this really, really important thing that the CISI offers. At every single stage in your career, no matter where it is and no matter what stream you take within the financial services industry, which is a very diverse industry. When we say that we work in financial services, you could be 10 different things. So what the CISI does is cater for almost every area of the financial services industry and at every level. So wherever you are in your career right now, the CISI offers something to you to either go to the next level in your career or take a different path and diversify and expand your knowledge and experience. And as we know, things are constantly changing. And as professionals, what we must do is stay on the front end, you know, to stay current, stay modern, stay up to date with all the different developments and thinking. And the best place to go for that is the CISI. I don't know any other professional body that offers such a depth and breadth from the entry level all the way up to level 7, which is the highest level. It's all catered for, and you can have access to these materials. Now, it's not just passing the exam. Remember, you may just want to get the workbook and read through the text just for your own learning. That's available to you as well. So you should see the CISI as your friend through your career, giving you the information that you need to take the next step, whether it's formal or informal, exam, experience, knowledge, whatever it is, it's there for you. Just let me share you, I want, you know, please, I'm going to ask you to indulge me for 5 minutes, and I'm going to explain to you how I have personally used the CISI for my own professional development. So when I finished my accountancy degree and then qualified as an accountant, I started working for a private bank. After that, within the same group, I started working for the fund management business of that private bank. At that point, I needed to start getting my head around the Financial Services Authority rules and regulations. Where do I go? That's when I first went to the CISI way back in 1995. And the first exam I took with the CISI is the regulatory environment for the financial services industry in the UK. That got me a good grounding, a good understanding. My next level up, even remember, as a graduate in accountancy and a qualified accountant, I'm now working in the securities and investments industry. Just because you're a qualified accountant does not mean you understand the industry in which you find yourself. How are you going to learn about the industry? Again, the CISI was my answer. So I took then the Introduction to Securities Investments, and then was given a very good foundational grounding about the industry I happened to find myself in, and then which I built my career from there. When I was working in the fund management business, I was always working in different areas, but within the middle office and the back office, not at the front office. So I was then asked to be responsible for setting up a unit trust. Now, at the time, back in 1996, unit trusts were new. Where would I find how to set up a unit trust fund? I went to the CISI and I took their exam in unit trust administration. That then gave me a good theoretical grounding of what I needed to do to set up a unit trust and run the unit trust on behalf of the fund management business that I was in. Again, remember, from the middle and back office, not from the front office. I then revisited all the rules and regulations and took the regulation and compliance paper. Then after a couple of years, because I was working in the fund management sector, I actually took the CISI fund management qualification. After that, I took the interpretation of financial statements and got my diploma. Fast forward, I came to Cyprus. We had the financial crisis in 2009 internationally, then in 2013 here in Cyprus. And then in response to what was happening in the global scene, the CISI launched their Risk in Financial Services exam. So that was a very hot topic. So I took that as well and got another good refresher training in risk in financial services. So I have seen from my own personal experience how, as your career develops, where you find yourself at different levels, whether it's at the advanced level or at the entry level or horizontal to what you know, you need to go somewhere to get this information. And your friend in all of this is the CISI. On the exams, I just want to promote 2 exams in particular that I have a passion for. One is the International Introduction to Finances. I strongly recommend that you take this. I was teaching it for a while. I still do teach it. And I can tell you that even people that are well into the industry and qualified still benefit from sitting that exam, because it takes a holistic view of the industry. And whereas you may have specialized in certain areas in the past, this exam gives you a very good grounding. The second exam I want to heavily promote, which again, I'll declare the conflict of interest because I do teach it, is Risk in Financial Services. If there are 2 exams, if I was king for the day, I would make mandatory for anyone in our industry to take. It's International Introduction to Financial Services and Risk in Financial Services. They're the 2 exams that I would promote very heavily for you. And if you don't already have them under your belt, I would strongly suggest that you do. So really the CISI is your friend through your journey as a career. Now, I won't go into the detail. Carolina went into very well into the different things that the CISI, oh, that switched on its own. The CISI offers its members. It's a treasure trove of information. You get to see all the professional development events, probably globally, but definitely in the UK. You can get to watch them. Again, if you're a learner by watching, you can get to read them. If that's the way you know, with professional refreshers, which I'll mention again, but the huge treasure trove of information. In addition to this, under normal circumstances, the NAC and the committees here in Cyprus, we have specialized events where we have seminars, conferences, where we get together like-minded people around topics and subjects that you have a passion for. Then you can come together and have more of an in-depth discussion, learning from each other, networking. I cannot emphasize the importance of networking and the benefit, again, it brought to me. So you can probably tell from my accent, I was not born here in Cyprus. I was born and raised in the UK. I came here about 20 years ago. So I didn't have the circle of friends that you would have ordinarily if you're born and raised in a particular country. The way in which I have built my professional and personal network, and I include people like Mario's in this, is through the CISI. The network that I made by being an active member in the CISI here in Cyprus provided me with what I was missing when I came from a foreign country and didn't have my school friends and my army friends and all the different people that you grow up with and you consider to be your network. So your professional and personal network will expand considerably by joining the CISI. And just as in anything in life, the more you put in, the more you will get out. So I strongly encourage you, when you join the CISI, be an active member of the membership, show up to the events, volunteer, join a committee if you can, and you'll find that you'll enjoy the experience a whole lot more than if you're just a passive member. Now, what we try to do here in Cyprus, we try to be thought leaders. We try to help everybody, our members, our partners, our regulators look forward. We have a very good relationship with CISEC. We are constantly giving ideas and suggestions on how to improve the experience of people in the industry. We are working with other professional bodies under the auspices of the central bank in terms of promotion of financial literacy. We are in the process of registering a local charity. So the CISI will be a local charity, so we can actually raise money and give for good causes within the scope of the CISI works. So we want to be good citizens here in Cyprus. So again, the more that you put into your membership in the CISI, the more you would get out. So we're active members. We try to make a difference, and we want to be a place where people can come and learn and grow together. Now, it's not just all about work. We do have social events. At least once a year, we have our annual dinner. Again, under normal circumstances, of course, is a chance to get together, celebrate, network some more, have some good dinner, and go our separate ways. We also have at least one summer event, again, under normal circumstances, where we get together, usually so summer's usually Limassol by the coast, and the winter is usually Nicosia. But in addition to that, you can see, and Carolina mentioned it, we also have a dedicated page to well-being. We want our members to look after themselves and each other. So we provide information for you personally, if you're a manager, for your employer, if you are an employer, any other circle that you have influence, look after yourselves. And we try to give you as much information as we can in order for you to rest well, so you can work even better. So we care about our members, and we try to be there for them. One of the examples of the way in which the CISI can keep you current as a professional, because it's a very competitive market. The big conversation these days, I'm sure you know, is all about ESG, environment, social governance, or sustainability, or social responsibility. It goes under different labels. And the CISI offers a full range of free modules, refresher modules. Now, they're called professional refresher modules, but I don't want you to think that you can only read them to refresh your memory. Quite often you can use these refresher modules as your first introduction to the subject. And then as you get more interested, you can go and pursue the right exam to learn even more. So I just want to promote, because these are very hot, very current, and I would say that any professional in the industry needs to be able to speak with some knowledge and confidence on these areas. So this is an example where the CISI has done all the hard work for you and is offering you for free, if you remember, the information that you need to stay current and have good conversations with confidence around these issues, which every one of us needs to be able to speak about now. So we have a module on G, ethical and sustainable investment, green bonds and asset-backed securities, impact investing, and responsible investment. So this is just an example of the resources available for members, so they don't get caught out by developments which are very fast. Now we have a higher level, which is sustainable report, responsible investment, professional assessment, which is a 6-hour study course, and it's done under test conditions, although not supervised. And also the CISI is the member of the Chartered Body Alliance, together with the Chartered Insurance Institute and the Chartered Banker. And this is a joint qualification that's been issued by the Chartered Body Alliance, which is, I think, is it a level 4 or 5, Carolina? Can you? 5. It's a level 5 exam, so it's higher in terms of the demands, but you can qualify with a climate risk certificate if you so choose to specialize in this particular area. And here's some a link that you can follow to get more information. So I'll finish there and hand it back to Marios, and then we can answer questions.
Great, thank you very much, Petros and Carolina, for the earlier presentation. It's nice hearing this again and again. You know, it's kind of, you know, it's I love the presentation today, because I went back and I saw all the different places, and I love the update on the website about the mental health, which was launched last, I think it was last year actually. It was some very interesting articles and pieces and advice there as well, which inspired us, as well as EIMF actually, to also have our well-being series this summer. We have done a lot of different trainings, webinars, basically discussions with people, which just to, because it is a part of our life, and especially with COVID, our well-being has been distorted at large. So in any case, I don't know, I'm not getting any questions. If anyone wants to ask any question or say anything, feel free to do it now, please. If you want to raise your hand, just raise your hand. I can allow you to talk as well if you want to say something.
I just wanted to add that if anyone is interested, Marius, you're more than welcome to share the slides. I included a slide with my details there. So
I was going to do that anyway. So
it was a very comprehensive presentation. So I'm not surprised that there are no questions, but in case it comes up, we are here to.
Yes, we will have. We will also keep the presentation on the link of this Zoom event. So if you have any friends, anyone you know who wanted to attend this and they didn't make it today, they will can watch it on demand. It will be on the same link as the link of the actual event today.
Fantastic.
It's on demand as well. So if anyone wants to watch it later on. Look, in any case, it's 4:30, 5:30, 4:30, 4:30. We just ending on time. So if no one wants to ask anything or any more questions, and I don't see anything coming in, I want to thank everyone for being with us. Thank Carolina, thank Petros for the wonderful presentations, and hopefully we'll see you all. Carolina, for sure, hopefully we'll see you soon in Cyprus. Petros, good luck with the event on the 2nd, because Petros mentioned the events. Actually, there's a social summer on the 2nd of July, this Friday as well, for the members of CSI, which is always a great event to get together. And this year is happening, so it's good to actually, with all the COVID and social distancing and all these rules that the protocols that have to be followed. But in any case, thank you all very much, and bye-bye. Petros. And
thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.